Hello. Okay, disabling it and enabling it seems to have worked on my end. There we go. So now it should be working now. Ugh. Ay. All right, so let's resume the run, and let's hope that our technical difficulties are behind us. While it was brief and not all that climactic due to all of our technical difficulties earlier, we actually got something that was beating Gym 2 earlier. But we did technically cheat because it wasn't doing double battles. So now what we need to do is we need to check if it's a double battle, and if it's a double battle, process it that way. Hello. You may as well be joining at the beginning of the stream this time, because we've had a bunch of technical difficulties over the last hour, so not a whole lot has really been done. But in the middle of all those technical difficulties, we actually got it to beat Gym 2. Barely hanging on by a thread, it beat Gym 2. So we're making a lot of progress. My original statement last Thursday was that today, for the stream, I wouldn't stop until it beat Gym 2. And then, like, the third run, I tried out just before we were going to improve anything, it beat Gym 2. But then there were a whole lot of technical difficulties. My computer slowed down to a crawl, and so, yeah. But either way, that just means I'll stream like normal. Hopefully we can make some good progress and get things working in a nice way. And see where the rest of the day takes us. My idea for Thursday of this week is to do the reinforcement learning, but who knows, maybe if we get everything done that I'm wanting to get done for today, then we can just go ahead and start with the reinforcement learning. And that's a more exciting part anyways. Okay, so let's get to it. So what we need to do first is we need to check the battle type. The battle type is going to be, if we pull up the data, I might grab a Ethernet cord and plug it in, because maybe I'm just having all sorts of technical difficulties. It very well could be on my end. There we go, battle type. And we also need to pull out battle required. Which is this. For now, so since it's easier, we can just kind of have it do every single battle. But it would also be neat to have it try to decide whether it should do this battle or not. Oh no, my food is never going to be delivered. They canceled the order. Nothing is going well for me this night. I had a decent day, but ever since I came home, it's been one mess after another. My technical difficulties, my Uber Eats order gets canceled. Everything going bad today. Alright, so now we have the battle type. And the battle type is just going to be a string that says single or double. So then what we do, we team build, and then here we go. We need to say if battle type is equal to single, then we do exactly what we've been doing. Oh, and the battle format, we can change Gen 5 anything goes to, or Gen 7 anything goes to Gen 5 anything goes. That should be a more accurate thing. Yeah, and like I have a rice ball still as well that I was just saving for tomorrow to eat as a snack, but I could eat that as well. Because tomorrow, well, with the new place I'm working, I can work from home part of the week, so I'll be working from home tomorrow. Okay, so there's a split there, and we can also just do something like if it's an invalid battle type, then we're going to raise a runtime error and tell it that... What the heck? We'll just do .lower.strip. Just for a little bit of extra support for, you know, doing lowercase instead of uppercase. We'll say something like battle type is not a supported battle type. Because actually we still need to do triple battles and rotation battles. And if those are too complicated to do in Pokemon Showdown, then we'll do like Pokemon Platinum or something instead of Pokemon Black, which only has single battles and double battles. So there's single and double. And then we also need to import those single and double battlers. So from trainer AI, we need to say from dot game AI double import game AI double player, and from dot best move double import best move double player. I think it is best move double. Yeah, best move double player. I don't know why it was acting like it didn't know what that was, but there we go. And so now we can just import these two directly in our Nuzlocke run. The only thing is that Showdown is not going to accept it because those aren't proper. Like, it doesn't allow double battles in this format. This battle format is a single battle format. So we need to go to our Pokemon Showdown config and make sure that we add this as a other battle type, which is not that hard to do. Okay, so this is our formats that are supported in our Pokemon Showdown. What we should really do is limit lots of these, like limit all of them except for the ones that we want. So let's just do that. Let's get rid of all of these Sword and Shield singles. Or actually, let's not get rid of them. Let's just add search show equals false to all of these. So this is just going to make all of these no longer show up. So it just will stop clogging up our Pokemon Showdown page, which if you look at the Pokemon Showdown page right now, you can see there's a huge amount of battles, and we have to like scroll all the way down to get the ones that we want. So we're just going to get rid of most of these. Mm. Yeah, I might still grab a Ethernet cord for myself just because I don't want to risk it on my end. Alright, so there we go. There's a lot of, like, all the Gen 8 ones. But what I want to do is then grab a double. Yeah, game type equals doubles. So let's scroll to Gen 5. I don't want to show these. Okay, it's in this section is the ones that we want to get rid of. Anything goes, pure hack bonds. Then what we need to do is we need to copy this anything goes. And we need to say anything goes doubles, which is going to be then game type doubles. And now we have a new Pokemon Showdown game type. So we might have to restart the Pokemon Showdown server. And then let's go and refresh it. And check out and see if it's showing up now. Okay, so a lot of the other ones have gone away. And we can see... There we go. Anything goes doubles. So anything goes doubles is there now, which is what we needed. We can get rid of all these as well. Just to do it. These are all already hidden. Search show is false for all these. Lots of them to get rid of. Search show equals false here too. Lots more getting blocked, which we want. Geez, some of these rules are complicated. We could probably do a find and replace, but it would be a little bit annoying, so we're just going through and doing this with all of them manually. Almost done. We've got a lot of them hidden now, and that'll just clean up and make our page a lot clearer what's going on. Because right now I feel like when we're so zoomed in, it's hard to see where you should be looking whenever we're on the other. Okay, so that was a lot of them. Let's save and restart our Pokemon Showdown server. It's loading the ladder. It takes a little bit whenever we first start it up. Okay, there we go. So I forgot to get rid of a couple of them, which are these two. But other than that, everything else is hidden, which is just a lot more readable. So let's just search for these two, like Gen 8 random. Yep, here's what I forgot to do. And then we also forgot to do pure Hackmons. Gen 7 pure Hackmons. That's, or Gen 6 pure Hackmons. Yep, there we go. And then let's just rename this section header instead of B2 W2 singles. Let's rename this Nuzlocke training battle types. There we go. So that's it. That's all of our battle modes cleared up, saving us lots of space and making it a little bit more clear what's going on. And if we check out the ladder, we can see, there we go. These are the only valid battle types that can happen, which are Gen 5 anything goes, Gen 5 anything goes doubles, and Gen 5 pure Hackmons. We could also, for completeness sake, do pure Hackmons doubles, so that there's room for simulating double battles and finding out which team does best there. But that's something that we don't necessarily need for right now. So we're good. And let's just say Gen 5 anything goes doubles. Gen 5 anything goes doubles. There we go. So there's our Game AI player. And it's just that simple. So let's try running this again and see how it does. Python nuzlocke run.py, and let's see if we can get this working. Oop, no module name essentials AI Python in module. Let's see, it's an error in Game AI double. Ah, I know what the issue is. We need a dot. And that's it. Sometimes it fails in the first few battles against the rivals, but generally speaking, once it gets after there, it's got potential. Okay, let's look at not the ladder, but current battles. This is the first battle that it starts taking a long time on, is this Purloin battle. And I'm not sure why. I don't know why it takes so long for it to figure out what to do in this Purloin battle. But every time we run it, it always struggles here. And then it never really speeds up again. I'm not sure the real reason. Because it's not doing anything else in the background either. But at least now it's not like stuttering to a horrible degree and crashing things on my desktop. At the very least, it is just taking a little bit of time, but it's watchable. Something else that we need to implement that would actually likely make the model better is that last time we trained a... yep, it got past that battle. Yeah, I think it just struggles on battles where the opponent has two of the same Pokemon for some reason. I think that has something to do with it slowing down. Like, maybe there's some sort of logic issue when it's got multiple of the same Pokemon. Because the library that we wrote, or the library that we're using, was built on Showdown. And typically in Showdown you can't have duplicates. So maybe there's some sort of like logic issue in the processing of the teams. That if there's multiple of the same Pokemon, it's failing somewhere, or it's taking much longer to run, or something. That's my theory, because it only really seems to be on these trainers that have duplicate Pokemon, which thankfully is just early in the game. Late in the game, trainers won't have duplicates of the same Pokemon. So hopefully it's not something that's too much of an issue. Okay, let's close out of this and keep watching these other battles. Dang, the battles are going so fast that they are just closing up. And it looks like some of the double battle orders not defined. Okay, so we got to our first double battle, and it seems that the battle started, but it failed due to an import error. No worries. We will just make sure that that is imported in here. It seems like we just forgot to import it. So let's go to score moves. I think we need to do from pokeenv dot environment dot double battle import double battle order. I think that's where it's from. Let's check just to be sure. Yep, double battle, and then double battle order. Is it in here? It is not, so it might be in player. So if we check, oh, yep, it's probably player.battle order. Yep, there we go. So it's player.battle order. We're going to import a double battle order and a just battle order. And there we go. Let's also do something like in our Nuzlocke run. We'll just deal with it. I wanted to do something like skip the not required battles, but we should really just give it justice and have it like decide whether it does the not required battles or not. Yeah, so all of these battles going by super fast until we get to an opponent with duplicate Pokemon. And this opponent that has duplicate Pokemon, that's when it starts the sluggishness. So there must be something. We need to dig into it and find out why, like what part of the battle is taking so long, first and foremost. And then figure out why. Because if it's part of the code that we wrote, then we can fix it, obviously. But if it's part of the built-in library, then we'll have to dig deep into how the library works, see if we can try to fix it ourselves and submit a pull request, or at least submit an issue about it so that somebody else can fix it. Because this really seems to be like slowing the rate that we could do runs at. Because without the slowdown, the other 7 battles happened in a couple of seconds. It took like 5 seconds for all of those to pop up. So we could possibly simulate like hundreds of runs if it weren't for this slowdown. Because this takes a battle from lasting like maybe 2 seconds to something that lasts like a minute or 2. And that means that's prohibitively slow if we're trying to simulate a lot of runs. But it got through it. Also, we can see in the log what happens. So it builds a team for the battle, which in these early battles will just be all of the Pokemon that you have. And then it'll show you which losses you've had in the battle, what your dead Pokemon are so far, so the total losses you've had, your remaining Pokemon, and then it'll do an encounter, if relevant. Sometimes you don't get an encounter after a battle. But after this battle against Youngster Joey, you will. Let's pull back up Pokemon Showdown. Yeah, we can see that... I think it's the case that once one of them dies, then it speeds up. Like, I think it is that, like, kind of duplicate issue. Because I think as soon as one of the duplicate Pokemon dies and there's no longer duplicates, it's like much faster. So that must be what it is. Team reject issue. Roggenrola can't have weak armor. Okay, so this is actually a side effect I found out the other day about some of the data that we're using. Unfortunately, the abilities of Pokemon, which we are getting from this Get Poke API info, is the latest abilities, and some of them are not valid abilities back in Gen 5. So there's a very simple way of fixing that, which I think we did it in Nuzlocke run for like building a potential team. We did it somewhere. Where did we do it? We like just checked like a list of like abilities that aren't in the game, and if it wasn't one of those abilities, then it would get just rejected. So I'm gonna close out of some of these so that we can find it. I think one of the abilities was competitive that we fixed before. Did we do it in ladder run? Yeah, here we go. Possible abilities equals this. And then we needed to do the same thing here. Get Poke API info. There we go. So some of these abilities were given to older Pokemon, but the abilities don't exist. So like another one is weak armor, apparently. Alright, the food I reordered has arrived, so I'm going to go down and grab that real quick. But I'll run this in the background. It'll take a couple of minutes to run, and I'll be back in like 5 to 10 minutes or so. Alright, I'll be right back. When I'm back, the run should have finished, and we'll start improving it from there.
Alright, so I'm back. So, as I was saying, the run should have finished, and we'll start improving it from there. Alright, I'll be right back. When I'm back, the run should have finished, and we'll start improving it from there. Alright, I'll be right back.
Alright, and I am back. I was just real quick eating food. Okay, so we are running into an issue in the double battle against Team Plasma Grunts. This is the second double battle. So what's happening here is it says invalid choice. Can't make choices. You sent choices for 3 Pokemon, but this is a double battle. So at some point in time, we are choosing to do 3 moves instead of 2. Which is weird. I'm not sure where we're doing that. So let's try to find that out. These other warnings are fine to ignore. So let's go to Game AI Double. In some ways, we are choosing 3 things instead of 2. Which is weird, because that shouldn't be the case. So what we're doing in Game AI Double is we're doing this decide slot action, which will always choose just like one move, because it'll just do a create order with a single move. And then choose move will decide a slot action for the first one, decide a slot action for the second one, choose a random doubles move, choose just one of the others, or create a double battle order here. So I'm not sure where we are running into the issue. I don't know which branch failed us, which is annoying, because that means this is hard to reproduce and identify exactly where the problem is occurring. But let's see if we can come up with something clever for how to do this. So my guess is something like a like one of those single slot actions is actually showing up as like a double action, and that's what's causing the problem. So then whenever we build the battle order out of it, it's appearing like it's 3 actions instead of 2. That's my guess. And that would kind of make sense. But I'm not sure why it's doing that. So let's do something like order is equal to double battle order, print order, return order. And we also can't do a try except here, because the trying happens somewhere else. Which is kind of annoying that it won't, like with these critical warnings, we can't have it print what the choice was to begin with. But maybe what we can do, and we didn't run into this problem at all the other day. So let's restart the simulation. And let's get to, actually, let's also test our theory. I'm curious, because I want to test that kind of doubled up situation that's happening and see if that's what's responsible for our problems. So this person has 2 purloins, which I'm going to just delete the second purloin. And then this, a youngster Joey has 2 Patrats. So I'm just going to delete the second Patrat. So now no opponents have duplicate Pokemon. And let's see if that solves this problem of like super slow battles. Oop, run is failed here. Dang. Lost the starter fight twice in a row. It's a little bit unlucky. Okay, Pokemon Trainer Bianca. Last Airy. Yeah. Okay, so it's the duplicate Pokemon that's causing the problem. Having duplicates in the opponent team makes the battle run significantly longer. Wait a second. In that double battle, it never printed anything. Like, we told it should print the double battle order. But it didn't print anything. Which is a little bit concerning because, in theory, it should be printing something. It might go all the way. It might just work against every battle. But I think our Game AI double battler is failing somewhere. Youngster Keita. Does Youngster Keita have duplicates? If it does, then this just proves our theory. Youngster Keita has a Timpole, a Timpole, and a Timpole. Yeah, so that's our issue. Is opponents with duplicate Pokemon make the battles take significantly longer. So let's also go ahead and go to this one and just remove the 2 extra Timpoles. These are duplicates of the same Pokemon, so we can just add them back in whenever we need to. And that'll make it run significantly faster. What's concerning though to me is that we are never seeing this print order. So maybe something in our double battling AI isn't working right. Lost Patrat, lost Panpour, still going. Okay, so yeah, this one they only got 2 moves off, but those moves looked just fine. Okay, that's fine. Team Plasma Grunt, and then after that it's Team Plasma Grunts. Okay, it worked just fine there. We're just not finding out where it's failing, which is the issue. Because sometimes it fails. And it's just in double battles that it fails. Let's see, it might go all the way. Only 2 more battles. Lydia. Does Lydia have duplicate Pokemon? Lillipup. Lillipup. Had 2 Lillipups, but that time the battle didn't take that long. And it beat the gym. Okay, so once again we got it beating Gym 2 all the way through, which is great. And is it still saving the replays? Yeah, it's even saving the replays. So we can even see what this battle looked like, this gym battle. Let me pull up the replay for the gym battle. Play music off. Okay, so this was the gym battle. And we can see already, because we're spoiled a little bit of it, that the AI will lose Lillipup and Pidove in this battle. And here it just lost Pidove, which makes sense, because we knew that was going to happen. Wait a second. This had a Panseer. But the opponent... Hang on. We found the losses in the wrong way. This interpreted as Lillipup and Pidove being the losses. But the real losses was Pidove and Panseer. So something's breaking with our losses, as well as the fact that it has both it had at some point both a Panpour and a Panseer, when that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't have both. It should only have one, because you're not allowed to have both. It might be an issue with our encounter, the way that we're doing it. Because this time it got 2 Pokemon, which means technically it cheated. Technically it had an extra encounter that it shouldn't have had. It probably still would have won because it has a Timber as well. But that's kind of an illegal encounter. Also, there are 9 encounters up to this point. Or 8 encounters up to this point. And we can see it had 8 Pokemon. So let's see where it's going wrong. So it had Snivy, which makes sense. So for encounter 1, it had Snivy. For encounter 2, it probably had Patrat or Lillipup. For encounter 3, it had the other of Patrat or Lillipup. For encounter 4, it had somehow Panseer and Panpour. So something is broken with this encounter. For encounter 5, it got Pidove, which makes sense. For encounter 6, it got Roggenrola. For encounter 7, it got... Where is it? Timber. Okay. For encounter 8... Oh, wait, no, it doesn't get encounter 8 yet. This is the next one after. So it rolled this Dreamyard encounter twice. For some reason, it did this Dreamyard encounter twice, which is encounter 4. Does 4 show up twice? Ah, wait, no. 4 is only showing up once, though. It somehow is rolling this encounter once, but getting 2 Pokemon out of this encounter. I'm not seeing this wrong, am I? Like 009 is going to 0004. Let's go to Battle 9 in the log. So at 9, it had Snivy, Patrat, Lillipup. But after that, it also had a Pansear. When is it getting the Panpour? It got Panpour in between 12 and 13. But 12 doesn't have an encounter. That's weird. Why is it just suddenly getting a Panpour? Because we can see Pansear, Patrat, Snivy. Yeah, just it magically got a Panpour in between these 2 battles. Is there any way that this would make sense? That's how is it like getting an extra Pokemon? Also, clearly our Find Dead Pokemon thing isn't working because it's getting the wrong Pokemon that died. But we'll fix that afterwards because this is a more important one. Well, they're both equally important. Okay, so we have after it wins, then we find the dead Pokemon, add them, remove them from the pool, and then we build encounters for that battle ID. Okay. So maybe something's broken in our build encounters. Where the battle... Yeah, so in reality, this should just not do anything. Because it shouldn't... If it's not in the data, which 0012 isn't in the data anywhere, then it shouldn't add it. I'm very confused at where this Panpour appears from. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just that our dead Pokemon finding script is the only thing that's broken. Because maybe it's identifying the opponent Panpour as one of our losses. Because Leader Silent right here. No, has a Pansage. I'm so confused. Where is this coming from? 13B. That would have made sense to me. Is if it's like just misreading the opponent's Panpour dying as like what's causing the issue. But no, it seems to actually be coming from this result. Why? Where is it getting this Panpour from? It seems to think after this battle it gets a Panpour. Or it can get a Panpour. But it's just doing an extra encounter. Also, in our last battle, let's investigate where the failure happened. Because here it thought it was Lillipup and Pidove, when in reality, Lillipup's still alive, so Lillipup shouldn't have died. So let's open up the replay instead of opening it up in a browser. Let's edit it in Notepad. And see, like right now, we are considering it a dead Pokemon. If, let's go back to Nuzlocke. We, like, kill off the Pokemon if this is in the line. Oh, gotta get rid of the quotation marks. Okay, so there's the Pidove fainting, which is right. Okay, and then it says Pansear. This also doesn't make sense to me, because this replay is pretty clear. Why is it identifying it as Lillipup? Line.split colon, which is right here. 1.strip.lower. And it then appends it to the list. Unticked. Thank you for the follow. We're just trying to debug some of our Nuzlocke simulation code. We've got it beating the second gym, but it's cheating a little bit. It seems our finding dead Pokemon script isn't working perfectly, and it's getting an extra encounter somewhere. So our simulation code is a little bit messed up. I think even if we fix it and it's no longer cheating, it'll be working, but it'll still win. But something seems to be happening in a weird way. Okay, so those are the only faint P1A things. So what we're doing to simulate the battles is Pokemon Showdown, and you can, if you play Pokemon Showdown, which we're having like a bot play on Pokemon Showdown, you can choose to save the replays. So we're going through the HTML of the replay to find what Pokemon fainted. Because if instead of doing P1A, you do P2A, you can see the opponent Pokemon that have fainted. And if you do P1A, you can see our Pokemon that fainted. So, weirdly, it said after this battle, after it processed this battle, it thought that Lillipup and Pidove died. Which I don't get. Because this logic isn't that complicated. Let's print some debug stuff. Debug line. So in this case, it's by name. Like they are just referenced by name, and we're just trying to add this string of, like, you know, just lowercase what Pokemon fainted to the list. So then we're gonna also then again print debug with dead. I'm gonna real quick do... Wait a second. Oh, I'm confused and not doing this right. We're still saving the logs from before. We have a whole lot of extra logs, and it's just picking the one that comes last alphabetically. But when we change the game type from Gen 7 to Gen 5, that means we kept the old battle logs. So it's using old results. So just to check this, if we looked at the Gen 7 Anything Goes fight against Lenora, where we were using Gen 7 mechanics instead of Gen 5 mechanics, if we were to just skip through the whole battle, Pidove and Lillipup died. That's what it was. It was reading the wrong replay. So it's just important that we delete all of our old replays and not keep them, because if the old replays are there, it gets confused and it uses results from the old replays. I was being driven crazy. I was trying to figure out, where is it breaking? It's just because there were a whole lot of replay files that were here. Okay. It was reading the old replays. And that's probably where it was getting encounter information too. That encounter wasn't just popping out of nowhere. It just saw in an old version that Pokemon died, so it added it to our dead Pokemon. So that's what was happening. Okay, so it's not cheating anymore, because we've cleared out our old replays. And so maybe it'll get to the end of Gym 2. Oh, well, we're still technically cheating. We got rid of those duplicate Pokemon because that made it speed up a lot more. But, you know, none of those battles are that bad. So, do we really need to introduce them? I guess probably. Oh jeez, there was a lot of stuff. Like, technically it's still cheating because some of the opponents are weakened because I removed duplicate Pokemon. Dang, it hasn't had a single loss yet. Double battle up to Gym 2. There's only 2 double battles. I'll click on one of the replays for a double battle that just happened, so you can see. Okay, so this is a double battle. It's, from a functionality standpoint, the same as a single battle, except you're using 2 Pokemon at once, and the opponent is using 2 Pokemon at once. And that was very fast. Also, we're playing with level caps, where your Pokemon can't exceed the next gym's ace, which means these random battles against random trainers will be easier because you're already prepared for the gym leader. So that's why some of these battles just go so fast. Oh, but there's School Kid Lydia, who also has a duplicate Pokemon, if we remember. She has Lillipup and Lillipup. And the Lillipup. She has 3 Lillipups, and that's why that battle takes so long. Yeah, I could do that. I will. So I'm not removing doubles, like double battles, but these duplicate Pokemon, like, ideally we just fix it so that the speed issue is not there, because really it's not preventing it from working, it's just that it's so slow. So testing the stuff is such a pain because it takes like multiple minutes for it to simulate a battle instead of like the 3 seconds otherwise. So ideally we just fix it at the root, rather than just trying to like make up for it. We might have to do some sort of like kind of profiler to figure out, now that we know what the issue is, the speed issue, we could do some sort of profiler to find out where the issue is. Like, is it in our code? Is it in an API call? Is it in the environment code? You know, that kind of thing, to figure out where the root cause of the speed issue is. And then try to solve it. Oh, also, let's just go ahead and, since this battle is taking forever, we can actually watch it live and see that it's just stuck on this very first turn, coming up with something to do because all of the Pokemon are the same. Actually, last Thursday, on the last stream, we were having speed issues, and I thought it was because of load balancing or like CPU usage whenever we were doing random battles between others. But I wonder if this is the actual reason. It's not that it's not that we were having like API load issues. It's that sometimes there were duplicates in the teams. Let me see if that's actually what's going on, because if it's because there's duplicates, then that's something relatively easy to fix. No, it shouldn't be duplicates, because we are doing a random choice of possible Pokemon and replaces false. So all 6 Pokemon should be different. Darn. So it's not that. I thought maybe it would be that. Okay, we couldn't get that lucky. That it doesn't explain our other issues. But at least we know that the reason why this battle takes forever is because of duplicate Pokemon. And unfortunately, if we look in the Excel spreadsheet, this battle is required. Some of the battles that have duplicates, like this battle, isn't even required. So we could just skip the battle, and it would be a perfectly legitimate run. But some of the other battles are required. So we have to do it, and we have to deal with this issue. Jeez, it's just, it does not want to do it. This is the issue. It's just the thing takes minutes and minutes to run where it should take seconds. What else could we do? Yeah, like let's try to do a profiler to figure out where is it taking a long amount of time. Unfortunately, we can't do too much with the profiler unless we dig into the actual source code and add some profiling there. But at the very least, we could profile the decision making and see how long does it take to get to a decision. What I mean is, if we pull up the game AI code, just a simple, game AI, we can, at the beginning of choose move, take the time, and once it gets to any return, print how long it took and see if that's our cause. Because maybe the problem is here in the selecting a move, or it could be somewhere else. So this would tell us how long is it taking to pick a move, but not other aspects, which would be a little bit harder to identify. What we could do, let's see, if we go to a player, like that's the other thing, is we could see, is the API, like if the decision making part is the long part, we could also profile the requests to see how long that's taking. Like, so like the way, the brief overview. Opening up a whiteboard. Create whiteboard. So, from my reading about the library that we're using, basically the way that it works is that Showdown, the server, will send the player a message. So it'll send the player a message of what's happened so far. It sends the log. That then gets interpreted. So the next step is then interpret the message. And then decide action. And then submit the action. And based off of the immediate response here, it either prints a warning. So I'll do a dotted line here, which is for warnings. If it's a critical warning, then it gets stuck and it never runs again. If it's just a other kind of warning, then it's fine and it moves on. So we need to find out which part is taking a long time. And in my mind, there's 3 real candidates. Well, there's a lot of candidates, but I think if I had to guess, my most likely slowdown is in this interpret part. This is my guess. Because Pokemon Showdown does support some rules where you have duplicate Pokemon. So I would assume that Pokemon Showdown handles it better than the library that we're using to interpret Pokemon Showdown, which doesn't necessarily assume that. So my guess is that the slow part's the interpreting. What I would hope it actually is in the deciding action. Because if the slowdown is in the deciding action, then that means we can easily do something about it. Or at least we can identify the specific part, and it's our fault. So that means we can fix it in our own code. If the problem is in the interpreting, or getting the message and deciding the course of action or whatever, then that means we've got to dig into the PokeEnv library to figure it out. So basically, with a player object, it starts listening on a certain thing, and it will get, let's zoom in. Yeah, it'll get this handle battle message, which is a set of split messages. And then based off of the messages, it will process it. So maybe something's going weird here. Like some sort of handle battle request thing or whatever is happening here. Maybe Showdown has a log. If we do one battle at a time, maybe Showdown has a log. Oh, also it beat the gym. I just checked. Back again. It had some severe losses and only has a Lillipup left after that gym, but it technically beat the gym. So that's good. It's still kind of cheating because it's the simplified teams for speed purposes, but that battle took a long time. So we can check to see if maybe Pokemon Showdown has logs of server events. Yeah, there's logs. So this battle was the second to last battle, which we can open up in JSON. It's all formatted on one line. Really? It has a timestamp. With some ratings for the player 1 rating and the player 2 rating. Results of what gets to happen next. A log of all of the battles. Or all of the attacks. Wait, no. Sawsbuck. This is not the right battle. Yeah, this is incorrect battle. So, what's the right battle? Which was the replay that we just had open. We just had a replay open. Two two nine one 81. 881. The battle isn't in the logs. Well, now what do I do? The battle isn't in the logs. Okay, it only logs rated battles by default. It doesn't log unrated battles. So we might want to log rated battles. But I guess, can we check in, like, I guess the HTML probably doesn't have times either. But I'm going to check the replay one more time and just see if maybe, like, if we edit with Notepad++, yeah, no, it doesn't have times in the log, so it wouldn't really help us anyways. Darn. So that's unfortunate. Is because if this had timestamps on each action, it would at least be able to tell us like if the issue is Pokemon Showdown. Yeah. So like that's something we can do. What we'll probably have to do is what we'll probably end up needing to do is dig into this like handle battle message thing and do logs there. Like this will be a really huge log, but we need to find out what part is really slow. Right. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. But then we will do this logs to troubleshoot the difficulties. Because we just need to get this speeding up, and once it speeds up, then we can run a run and it'll win. Gym 2. So yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Alright, let's sort out this profiling issue. So what we can do is we need to simulate the game AI playing against another player that is slow, or that has duplicate players. So instead of doing like random battle, we need to give it a team with duplicates to see what exactly is slow about it. So we can take this simple test, and instead of doing this, what we'll do is we'll just take 2 random players. Or no, we need to take specifically the ones we're doing. Game AI player and best move player. They're going to play a Gen 5 anything goes game. And instead of a cross evaluation with all this extra stuff, we're just going to do P1 equals that, P2 is equal to that, await P1 dot battle against P2. Okay, so there's that. What we're going to do is we're going to say battle time is equal to time. Print full battle took time minus battle time seconds to run. Then inside of these other 2 scripts, which are game AI and best move AI, we need to print here. So we're going to say move time is equal to time. We also need to say from time import time. And we're just going to say print best move player decided move in time minus move time seconds. We'll just paste that again. Okay, so there's our best move player that will print how long it took to make a decision. And then the game AI, very similar. We're just going to write at the beginning of choose move, say game AI player decided move, or say move time is equal to time, and paste this anywhere we see a return. So it decided to move there, decided to move there, decided to move there, there, and here, as well as moves here and here. And we're gonna have to remove all this stuff once we're no longer debugging. But the point is we want to see if any of these are substantial. Because in a battle where there are duplicate Pokemon, the battle takes like potentially like minutes, like even like 10 minutes to run. So if all of these numbers that are printed are small, in fact, we should see these to be like fractions of a second, then it means that the delay is not from the deciding a move, which is good because it's good and bad. All right, we're gonna say team 1. We need some sort of team out of this. You know what? Let's just pick out this team, which is condensed showdown format. There we go. There's team 1. This has no duplicates. So actually this is going to be our team 2 that gets assigned to best move player. Our team 1, on the other hand, is going to be, how about 2 Panseers? So we take this whole thing for the first Panseer, and then we paste it 3 times. So it's going to be 3 Panseers. So it has duplicates. Then we need to say team is equal to team 1. This one gets team 2. So team is equal to team 2. This mimics what we've seen before. And there we go. Let's try this out. Python simple test.py. Tuple attribute has no, or tuple has no attribute battle against. Oh. I left the comma at the end, which made it a tuple. Oh, and then I need to say n battles. Let's just go ahead and do it. Have it do 10 battles. Or we'll just start with 1 battle. Rejected. This format requires you to use your own team, but we gave it a team. We gave them both teams. It might be expecting non-condensed format. So let's go to this. Let's go to team builder. New team with Gen 5 anything goes. Add Pokemon Panseer. Acrobatics, Crunch, Fire Blast, Fire Punch, who cares? If you like. Why not? And we're going to copy this one, and we are going to import, export. We're going to take this. We're going to import it again. There we go. There is our Panseer team. Great. So let's validate it. Some of the Pokemon are missing EVs, which is annoying because it will fuss at us for that. So we're just going to go ahead and do 252 HP EVs. There we go. Team is valid. So this is our first team. Which is in wide Pokemon Showdown format, which is what it's supposed to be. And now we need to build Team 2. This is probably not a competitively viable team, but it gets the point across, and this is what we're trying to do. So new team, we're gonna again do Gen 5 anything goes. Add Pokemon. This time let's just do something like Oshawott with Eviolite and Torrent. It's gonna have Aqua Jet, Protect, Ice Beam, and Surf. Why not? And we're gonna give it just max HP IVs. Then we're gonna do a Pan Sage with leftovers, or sure, this doesn't matter. We're just trying to build up something with max speed, max HP. Why not? Acrobatics, Energy Ball, Grass Knot, and Leech Seed. Sure, why not? Validate the team. Team is valid. We're going to copy this. And now we're going to paste. Alright, so there are our two teams. Let's try that again and see if it accepts these teams. Looks like it accepted the teams now. And the fact that it's sitting here for a long time tells me it's... Oh. The Pokemon Fire Punch does not exist. What? It... it thought that was a Pokemon? Something's going wrong in constructing the teams, which is kind of annoying. So let's go to Poke-Env. There's still not any new release for it, so none of those changes are done yet. Maybe I've just got something wrong on the formatting. Creating a custom team builder. Do we need that line about IVs? So that was a team reject issue because it said that Fire Punch is not a Pokemon. And it's happening again. Is it because of the duplicates? The Pokemon Blank does not exist. Let's try one more time. Okay. Time is not defined. So we got a different error message this time. Now our teams are being accepted, so let's just... it was just that we had extra spaces. Apparently it didn't want that. It didn't like that we had extra tabs. So now we just need to say from time import time, because we were missing an import. Okay, so moves are being decided in a fifth of a second using the API. But hang on. It's deciding moves, but not using them. Like, it's deciding moves over and over and over and over again. But nothing has happened so far. It sent out the Panseer. The opponent sent out the Pansage, waiting for players. And Game AI player is being told to give moves over and over and over again. The turn still hasn't even changed. It's still turn 1. And yet it's being told to decide a move over and over and over and over and over again. And I guess at some point it stops being told to do moves. But clearly the problem is not in our game AI, because it's running in about a fifth of a second, which is not bad. Yeah, so like it must be something is broken with the library we're using, because this is being told to run over and over and over again. It's just running find the command repeatedly. And if for the sake of investigating, we get rid of the duplicates, let's see if that fixes the issue. Yeah, immediately. And each game AI move is significantly faster too. So the whole battle, 2.25 seconds to run. Best move player is like immediate, but that's obvious because it's not reliant on any sort of external API. And if we implemented the whole damage calculator ourselves too, it would be much faster than even this like less than 1/10 of a second. So the question is, why does this happen? And does it happen with everybody? So if we look at like random player, because if it also happens with a random player, then what that means is we can just raise this as an issue on the GitHub to try to investigate it. So with random players, the whole battle takes like 2.1 seconds to run. We add duplicates. It's not going to be printing progress because it's random players. Oh, 5 seconds turn. But this time it was, So it didn't take nearly as long with a random player. 3.5 seconds. It's taking longer, but it's not taking that long to run. This time is taking much longer. It took 16 seconds to run that time. What about if we introduce a best move player? Like, where is the slowdown happening? The slowdown happens when we introduce game AI player. Potentially. Let's, instead of doing Let's do best move player against best move player. And see how many times is it gonna print. Okay, that's the difference. No matter what you do, it's making a move over and over and over again. It's just significantly slower for game AI, because the game AI takes like 1/10 of a second or 1/5 of a second to run. But you can see here, it's taking so many attempts to run. Like if we make this one a random player. It's doing perhaps hundreds of moves before the opponent does. What happens when it's best move player that has the... Yeah, when best move player has the duplicate team, it takes longer. But if we reverse it, random player. So now we just switch which player has which team. Okay, it's... Yeah, exactly. Like this is a cyclical issue because of the fact it's having to run over and over again. That's going to overwhelm other things. Like it might not overwhelm Showdown if these messages are never being sent to Showdown in the first place, but it might overwhelm the damage calc API, which is why even though we spun up multiple instances, it was getting overwhelmed because just everything was spamming it constantly. So we've learned from this. It's whichever player has the duplicates on their team is running multiple times. Because the battle is being decided in 6 turns. It's very... The whole battle is nothing. But the other player is moving... Like if we do 2 best move players, but maybe we do something like best move player self dot like name or something. Like maybe we can get like the self dot player configuration dot username maybe. Player configuration it's in player configuration. Oh, is it? It's also in player. Oh, no, it's right here. Player configuration. It's got a username. So we're going to print the username so we can see. Best move player has no attribute player underscore configuration. Why not? Player. That's annoying. I just wanted some sort of ID so we can know which player is printing, so we can count how many times it's moved. Or I guess we can just do the same turn and see how many times it prints on the same turn. So let's go to environment, battle. There should be an attribute like turn, I guess. Is there no turn number? I just wanted something. Doesn't seem like there's anything helpful in that. Maybe there's something in abstract battle. If we go to abstract battle, like a turn number. Turn. Dynamax turn, opponent Dynamax turn. Turn, okay. Turn. Okay. So we can say battle.turn in order to get the turn number. That'll tell us at least what I decided a move in seconds for turn number battle.turn. All right, so we're going to do a best move player against a best move player, and we're going to see what's going on. Oh, right, there's no player configuration. We have to get rid of this. Yeah, all of those are for turn 1. It's doing, and now it's turn 2, now it's turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn number 1. With an exclamation mark. Yeah, it's doing it like hundreds of times with the duplicates. As for why this is happening, I think it's internal to the tool. So we can post an issue to PokeEnv and see what's causing this. I raised an issue before about something and it hasn't been fixed yet, but maybe I'll have to dig some detail into it. Yeah, like I don't know what's causing it. I don't know if it's just that Showdown isn't responding in time. My guess is it's some sort of logic issue somewhere that if we go to player and player, let's see where it's calling choose move. There. So it calls choose move right here. So at least we see where it's calling choose move, and this is the only place it calls it. And so it says if the battle is a team preview, it will do a team preview. And then it'll choose a move. So this handle battle request is what's running many, many times. And this gets called a lot. So handle battle message is checking out the messages and then is doing this big for loop in split messages. So here's a potential way that it could be a lot. If the split messages is leading to it being like hundreds of items long, then that would be one potential area that there's a lot of stuff going on. And the handle battle request, it just happens here. This is all just a big branch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Thirteen, 14. Yeah. Okay, so all of them are here in this function. Except for the place where it's actually done. Yeah, so we could pull the code, fix it, and build it. That's probably the next step, is profiling this to find out where the issue is happening. Trying to fix it and then submit a pull request ourselves. That pull request doesn't necessarily have to get approved if it fixes it for us. Then we can just build it ourselves and install it for our own purposes. But I think that's the next thing is fixing this library up to allow duplicates. But we're gonna need to pull this code in order to fix it. Yeah, so progress of the second gym has actually come along really well. We've discovered a reason why the run takes so long. The run is taking a long time because when it's battling against an opponent that has duplicate Pokemon, something about this Pokéenv library is calling the choose move hundreds of times. So you can see, like, this is a log of what's going on in the battle AI. You can see that the AI is choosing a move for the same turn hundreds of times. Like, this is a huge log of just it choosing the same move in exactly the same situation for the same turn over and over and over and over again. And then finally it gets to the next turn. And then it repeats a bunch for turn 2. And then turn 3. And then 4. And 5. And 6. 7. 8, 9, 10. So I'm assuming around like 7, that's where one of the Pokemon faints. And then it's no longer an issue. I'm assuming like 7 leads to the user's Pokemon fainting. And it stops repeating. So maybe that's the case, and we can figure that out. And so I don't know how many Pokemon or how many trainers in the game have duplicates on their team. But if we're going to do this legitimately, we need to be able to handle those cases. Which is why now what we're doing is we're looking at Pokéenv and trying to figure out why is it being called so many times. And then handle battle message. Let's See, this is just called once. Oh wait, where is it even being called? Handle battle message. This is just defined right here. In player network interface, maybe? An abstract function, and then it's called here. So maybe it's handle message that's getting called a lot. Or maybe it's listen. It's getting a lot of WebSocket messages. Self.logger.info. We need to set the logger so we can see that. How do we set the logger? Log level int equals none. Self.create player logger. Log level is an optional int. It's going to get a logger for the username. If it's not none, it'll set the logging. So all we can do is just give it a... Oh, it has a self underscore username. That's what we were needing earlier. So if we rerun this, we should be able to see which specific battlers are taking a lot of time. And for sure, it's the one with the duplicates that's taking a huge amount of time. The opponent that doesn't have duplicates only decides moves once per turn. But the opponent that, or the player that has duplicates is needing to run many, many times. And unfortunately, while this best move player takes approximately 0 seconds to run, our game AI player takes like 1/5 of a second, and 1/5 of a second times like 300 adds up to a huge amount. So that's why battles are taking so long. But we need to dive in and see. I guess first what we can do is clearly these logs or these messages are logged somewhere. So we can set like the log level. So let's do that. And for player 1, we'll say something like log level is equal to 0. I think that will mean it will log everything. Or not. I'm not seeing logging. Instead of 0, it should be 10. There we go. Ah. I have figured it out. At least I figured out why the code is broken. Let's stop this. Let's evaluate what it's failing at. You can't switch to an active Pokemon because the error is when it's trying to switch to one of the other Pokemon. Like, it already has Pansear out and then is choosing to switch to a different Pansear. It's failing there. So we need to figure out when you are switching, how do you actually do that? In a proper way. Like when you've got multiple Pokemon. And that might be in like Showdown. Well, if I check the log, that's not going to help. Yeah, like I think what it is that like you have to be more specific what Pokemon you're switching to is the thing. Because if you just do it by name, then it's not doing that. So maybe it's sending it to like some sort of API and we can look up the rules of that API to see how it works. Because we give it the URL of Pokemon Showdown, which is like just this like localhost 8192 thing. And then in order to let's check out send message. It's probably going to be in like network interface. Send message. Nope. We need the URL. Server configuration. Self.listen maybe? Self.websocket URL. /showdown/websocket. Okay. Pokemon Showdown WebSocket API. And then we need to do commands. Battle messages are documented in there. Choose command. Okay. Okay, so it wants the number if you have duplicates. So I think that's what we need to do instead. Instead of sending it switch Pikachu or switch Pansear, we need it to be switching the number of the slot in case you've got duplicates. Okay, that's not bad. That's not a huge change to have to do to Pokemon's code. Okay, so switch is not in there, but what about in here? Is switch in here? Move to make our Pokemon to switch to. It will then create a battle order off of that. So it's in the battle order code that we need to modify. Okay. So let's go to battle order. Self.message. Message. So if it's a move, then it's going to be self.order.id. So the ID of the move. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So the issue is right here in this message. It's saying choose switch self.order.species. So it's switching to a using the species, which is causing the problem. So we need to swap out this species with the slot that the Pokemon is in. Unfortunately, I don't know. Hopefully we can get that just from the Pokemon. So let's open up a new thing. Let's go to environment Pokemon. Hopefully there is a, you know, like which slot it's in. Because in here, in this battle order, we just get this Pokemon object. And so we might have to major refactor this code in order to add that attribute to the Pokemon. So it's going to have a active. Maybe, well, so it has to be the order that Pokemon Showdown thinks it's in. We don't get to pick the order. It has to be the actual slot. So, like, if you see a battle like this, this Pidove was in slot 1, Timber's in slot 2, Roggenrola is in slot 3, Pansear's in slot 4, and Lillipup's in slot 5. So it wants you to actually give the number of the slot that it's in. So we need to be able to get that from the Pokemon. If we can't, then that means we need to add that support. Slot, maybe? No. What term do they use in this? Sending decisions. Yeah, they use the word slot here. I'm not seeing it. We might have to add it to the battle order. So whenever we do the team preview, we know the slots of our Pokemon. And the game AI, it will always be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we can get the team of the player, then maybe we can get the slot that it's trying to switch to. Yeah, we're gonna have to dig it up earlier because right now it's just sending a Pokemon. So best move player shouldn't be trying to switch unless it's here and it's forced to choose a random move. And the way that choosing a random move works, let's work from the beginning. So if we get our player, choose random move, it's going to then choose a random singles move. It's for all of the available moves, and then we'll do for all of the available switches. So we need to check, actually, does it even think it has multiple available switches? Because the best move player should have 2 available switches. So let's do that. Because we need to make sure that it's not failing there too. Okay, so this is going to clog up our stuff with a lot more print statements. Okay, let's read through and see. Printed a whole lot of nonsense. There are 3 switches. Chose to switch to, choose switch Pansear. Okay, so it's thinking there are 3 switches? There shouldn't be 3 switches. Right? Unless our player has 4 Pansears. No. Our player has 3 Pansears. So available switches is already broken. Oh no, it's not that simple. There are invalid available switches. So now we need to go to battle. Available switches is a list of Pokemon objects. If not Pokemon.active and not Pokemon.fainted, self.available switches.append Pokemon. So I don't know why it's saying there are 3 switches. Because that shouldn't be the case. There shouldn't be 3 switches. There should be 2 switches. But that list just has which Pokemon they are. And it doesn't have any information about what slot they are in the team. Because it's just appending the Pokemon. It's not appending the slot they're in. In battle, do we have a list of our Pokemon? Not available switches, but just the Pokemon themselves, even if they're fainted. Because if that's the case, if we have the list of Pokemon that are even fainted, then that would be good. Like maybe Abstract Battle has something like that. Team. Okay. We have team. It's a dictionary of string to Pokemon. Identifier. The identifier to use to retrieve the Pokemon. Okay, let's print out what this team is. That's the fastest way. So let's just print the current team is battle.team. Okay, there we go. The current team is 1. Okay, looks like team gives us nothing helpful. Because it's just 1. That's what's being printed. Oh. I'm doing len. Okay, the current team is P1 Panseer. Okay, that's what it is. This might be the part of the root of the problem, which is that this identifier thing is not unique. I wonder if giving the Pokemon nicknames would work. Like, would that be something that we could do? Like, what would that look like? If we name this one Oshi. Because then we could just give them nicknames if that would be enough to make them distinct. So this is gonna be P1, the Panseer, creative name. Oh, other way around. This is gonna be P1, the Panseer. This is gonna be P2, the Panseer. And this is going to be P3, the Panseer. This might not work because it might use the species. It might not use... Oh no, okay, so at least it shows up... The identifier problem is fixed by adding nicknames. Because we can see now that the current team is P1 with it has a Panseer. P1 P2 has a Panseer that's fainted. Okay, it's whenever it's it's trying to switch to a non-fainted Pokemon, I guess. Like a Pokemon has fainted and it's trying to switch. Fire Blast. So it's getting through actually a couple of turns. It gets through turn 1. And then turn 2 happens. It chooses Fire Blast. Oshawott then it misses. Oshawott uses Surf. It's super effective. It faints. And then it goes to switch. And it's just switching to the same Pokemon over and over again. But we're getting closer. Like, this nickname thing is a little bit of a workaround. But that, you know, helps a little bit. That kind of illustrates a little bit of how things are working. It's unfortunate that it's not quite there yet, though. Though, does the Pokemon have an identifier? Because that identifier is like the nickname. I don't think the Pokemon has an identifier. I think the identifier is something else. Darn. Yeah, so here it's just, you know, doing that. Yeah, it's getting the team's Pokemon with that identifier, and that identifier becomes unique when it's got a nickname. Previously, the identifier was not unique. It was just the species name, and so if you had duplicates, it wouldn't work. The choose switch is still based off of the species, though. I wonder if here... switch spec. So let's find switch spec. A Pokemon nickname. It can be a nickname. Wait, if you have multiple Pokemon with the same nickname or species, using the nickname / species will select the first unfainted one. First unfainted one, but not necessarily the first inactive one. So the battle has the attribute identifier, because this is the battle class. What is being returned by choose move is, we might be able to circumvent this a little bit, because here in player network interface we go choose move, or no, it's like send message. Right, this sends the message. We could potentially just call send message ourselves and build the thing that way. Because then we don't have to refactor all this other code. Switch is going to be a Pokemon. So let's just, instead of doing this choose random move, let's do switch is equal to np.random.choice battle.team. We're going to choose a random one. Battle.team.keys. And this is the identifier, and then the result of this needs to be something like choose, like if we check out battle order, I have like so many tabs open, it's getting kind of crazy. Source, Pokenv, environment. No, it's in player. Battle order. It's gonna call the message though, because this is expecting to give a battle order, so I can't just return it directly. And here it's hard coded to do that. So it's not gonna force typing. We just need something that has a message attribute. Like it's not gonna do type checking like is instance battle order, is it? Can you overwrite that? Python class property method overwrite. Let's test this real quick. Let's see if you can even do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say the battle order is just gonna be a battle order object that I'm gonna give in a none. I'm gonna just give it none. And then I'm going to say battle order dot message is equal to, let's see, what did this look like? P1. Okay. Is equal to slash choose switch, right? Yeah, slash choose switch switch dot split colon -1 dot string. So what we're doing here is we're gonna pull out just this like nickname part, and we're gonna tell it to switch there. So we are manually doing this battle order thing, which might not be a good idea, but we'll see. It might not even be possible, because it might tell us that you can't overwrite that. NumPy is not defined. Okay, well that's a different error than what we were expecting, but import NumPy as NP. We're trying to avoid rewriting their code as much as possible. Oop. Must be a one-dimensional array, or oh, right. This thing doesn't work as the way you would want it to. You have to tell it to choose from a list of keys first. NumPy.ndArray attribute has no convert it to a string. Let's see if that fixes it. Can't set attribute. Yep, it's telling us that we can't set the attribute. That's annoying. All right, there's another idea though. This is getting more and more custom. So we're gonna say custom battle order is a subclass of battle order, where we're going to do the same kind of thing that happens when you first create a battle order. So from data classes, import that. This is going to be a data class. That's got this. But we're going to overwrite the property. So we're going to say at property. Really? At property def message self we're going to say custom message is a string. This one. Optional string. We're going to say if self dot custom message is none, return super dot message. I think that would work. Else return custom message. Okay. This is a very roundabout way of doing this, but hopefully this will work. So now we can create a custom battle order. None, and custom message is going to be equal to this thing. And then we're going to return battle order. And hopefully, since it's a child class of battle order, any sort of type checking or instance checking will pass because it'll sneak through. From typing import optional. Yeah, I actually have 2 cats. Return custom message. Oh, I gotta do self.custom message. I can bring one of them up over here and show you. This is a let me. This is like an artwork that somebody made of one of my cats for a birthday present, actually. Invalid choice. You do not have a Pokemon named P3. Oh, there's an extra colon in it. Let's try one more time. There we go. It worked that time. And now it doesn't repeat the same move over and over again. So this worked. Overwriting it and having it do a specific message worked. Now, this is a very inefficient way of doing it, but it seems to have done the job. So to celebrate, I'm going to go grab one of my cats, and I'll show you my cat. Oh, I did not have to go far. This is the cat that the artwork is of. His name is Theo. Want to look at the camera? No? He was sitting just outside the door. But he's a big cat. So, and he's the one that the artwork's of. Yep. And then I have one other cat named Mochi, who is much smaller and scrawnier than Theo is. But I don't know where he's at right now. Theo is the cute cat. My other cat, not so much. Okay, so that was exactly what we needed. And now we just need to do this process with the game AI. Because the battle AI is never actually going to do this. Yeah, thank you for the names. Or thank you for saying they were cute names. Theo is actually a really well-natured cat. He is very sweet and affectionate. And like takes care of our other cat as well. He's like very like paternalistic. Our other cat screams constantly. So he's not as good of a boy. Okay, so let's... And I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but now he's scratching to be let back in. What? What is it? Okay. Data classes, import data class. Yeah, he is scratching at the door to be let back in. Do you want to come in or not? He just wants the option. He just wants me to leave the door open so he can come in if he wants to. He doesn't like not having the option to come in. Okay. I'll just leave the door cracked open. And you can say, oh, there's my other cat. Come here. He skittered away. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch him. He went under the bed. He sensed danger. But, alright, so we've got that, and now we just need to, in place of doing a random move, we need to do this instead. Which I think we can actually simplify, because it's just whenever we do choose random move that it needs to replace. So what we can do is we can make a custom choose random move. Def choose random move. Which I think it takes no arguments. Choose, nope. Where is it? Is this player network interface? Player choose. Oh. Here's the other cat. He's a lot more scared and like shy than Theo is. But this is Mochi. And he is kicking me off. Yep. And that's Theo. Okay. Choose random move. We pass in the battle to it as well. So here we're just going to say choose random move, self, battle. But we're going to do this instead, which we'll do a random switch. Based off of their nicknames. That way we don't have to actually replace it everywhere else. And so now the last thing is check if the game AI player works fast as well. And we're gonna we're gonna get rid of this log level thing. Optional not defined. Oops. From typing import optional. That looks like it's still doing a lot of stuff. Let's fix up the print so we can see what's going on. We had a better print statement here. Okay, the turn number was going up until turn 8, and now it got stuck. So something happened later in the battle where then it's just failing. It might be that we don't need to change. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's that we do need to change it when it's hang on. It's saying it's not getting stuck here. I think it's getting stuck this one. So let's see which ones it's getting stuck. This one is at the first flag, and this one is second flag. Let's see which one it's just repeating the same thing that doesn't work over and over again. Neither. It's getting stuck somewhere else. Okay, so it's not that one. I would have assumed it would be one of the random ones. Self.choose random move. Well, let's set the log level back down to 10. And let's see what it prints out. Yeah, I'm using Atom for my web IDE. Okay, so it's over and over and over again saying you cannot switch to an active Pokemon. But it's at one of the switches that this is happening. So it can't be this one because this has nothing to do with switching. It could possibly be this switch. So this is flag 1. This is flag 2. And this is flag 3. Let's see which one gets spammed a bunch. And we know the error is just can't switch. Yeah, when it works, I prefer VS Code. But the past few times I've tried using VS Code, it just breaks on me, and I can't seem to get it to connect to Git and everything else. Okay, so it gets stuck in this flag 1. Which makes sense because available switches was broken. So when we're checking the other switches that you could move to, it's broken. So what we need to do is something like if switch Poke dot active continue. Like, I'm not sure the exact syntax we can check. It's in the Pokemon one, which we've got to go back to check out Pokemon now. Active. Yeah, I think it's underscore active. Nope, same problem. Oh, right. Okay, never mind. That's not what the issue is. It's that we're... Okay. What we need to do is we need to switch to the proper one. So instead of available switches that we need to enumerate over, we need to go over team.keys. And then we're going to say switch ID. And we're going to say switch Poke is equal to battle.team at switch ID. And then we're going to say if switch Poke.active continue. Else if switch Poke dot faint, maybe FNT. Oh yeah, if dot faint. No, that's gonna faint it. That's gonna set it to faint. Fainted. Still getting stuck. Oh, right. Because then we need to do switch ID. And then in that case, we're going to, instead of saying self.createOrder, we're going to do this. Which is we're going to say battle order equals that, and this time the custom message is going to be, instead of switch, it's going to be this best option 0. And then we're going to return battle order. Okay. And one more test. There we go. Game AI player, even with duplicates, is taking seconds to run. That was a very big deep dive into the problem. But luckily, we didn't have to change the source code at all, which means no pulling it to our local machine and trying to rebuild it into a Python package and fighting with it. We were able to find workarounds for everything. So let's try running the run again and see how much faster it is. It still does take a couple of seconds per battle, but this means in the Excel spreadsheet we can go through and in every trainer restore all of those. So Lass Airy now has her 2 purloins again. Oh. Critical. Cannot switch. You don't have a Pokemon named Sneak to switch to. Right. We need to give them nicknames, though. So we still need to give them nicknames. But Purloin, like she has her 2 Purloins. The next one has his 2 Patrats. Everything's been restored to the run, so we can close that. And then in the Nuzlocke run, when we're building the teams, team builder Pokemon, probably needs to support nickname. Team builder Pokemon, nickname, yep. So what we can do is we can just say something like, nickname is equal to the species with the slot at the end. So it'll always be unique. And every opponent Pokemon will have a nickname. Oh, the run failed. Run failed. We're failing at the rival fight now. Okay, we're going through, and now here's going to be the test. Right after this battle. Oh, can't switch. You do not have a Pokemon named Teppy to switch to. So it failed again here. Because of something about the nicknames. But I'm not sure why it's doing that. So for our non-duplicate Pokemon, we're seeming to have some issues. Let's print Showdown Team. Let's make sure that it's actually giving the nicknames. Because maybe it's not giving the nicknames. Okay, that's my cat scratching at the wall. What do you need? You just want me to leave the door slightly open? There we go. He just wants me to leave the door slightly open so he can peek in. Okay, so they have nicknames, so I'm not sure why it's breaking. I guess let's go ahead and print what this battle order is. And we'll see. Oh yeah, and we can get rid of this print Showdown Team stuff. Failed on the first fight. Oh, also, we don't need the timing information anymore. Because we got that sorted out. There we go. Got rid of all those extra prints. Okay. So if it tries to switch because it doesn't have anything good, it will be printing. Choose switch sniv. Okay, so for whatever reason, the ID is showing up as sniv. But why is the identifier just sniv? It might be getting like cut off to just like the first 4 characters or something. In that case, we could. This is a little bit dumb, but we could just get rid of their names entirely and just give it P. So their Pokemon are just going to be named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll tell us if the issue is that the name is getting shortened. That'd be a kind of dumb decision if they were just shortening it to 4 characters or something. Yeah, sure enough, that's what it was. But the battles are working now. So let's let that run for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that extra print statement. They're growling infinitely. In what battle are they growling infinitely? The twins, Kobe and Amy. Eventually they'll run out of growls. Oh, unless it's another issue where they are just sitting here, not in reality not doing anything. No, they ran out of growls eventually. There we go. They're still going. And only 1 loss so far. Nurse Sherry, Preschooler Juliet, Preschooler Homer, Keita, Zachary. 5 more battles. So it still does take like maybe 2 or 3 seconds per battle. But this is enough to get some this is fast enough that in theory you could run some longer statistics to see what your win rate is like. And I think that in this case you probably can't get that much further than Gym 2 because you are taking some serious losses each battle. Like in this case, we lost Timber to, when did we lose Timber? lost Timber against Nurse Sherry, and Timber was a very important Pokemon in a normal gym. So then we lost even more Pokemon against the normal gym. So yeah, even without many improvements like evolving your Pokemon, like this is basically doing a no evolution challenge, and no held item challenge, with no battling AI. It's able to get through consistently to the second gym. Almost like it's too easy. So maybe in the future we'll, after we get this game working, swap out the data for one of those like challenge ROM hacks, and see how it fares against that. Maybe I should speak to that soon. Well, this is only Gym 2 after all. But that seems like a good stopping point for tonight, just because we've got Gym 2 working for real, no cheating. It's beating Gym 2. There is no hand-holding of the algorithm up to that point, and everything is legit. Feints work, the Pokemon with their teams work, and everything, which is great. So in that case, I think I'll probably wrap up here for tonight, but something I'll do, because I think it's probably a good thing to do, and last time somebody did it to me, is raid somebody, because why not? So any suggestions of who I should raid? If not, I'll just find somebody in like the programming categories or something and raid them. Alright, well, in that case, I'll just pick probably a smaller streamer, because it feels nice when you get rated. Last time I got rated with like 3 viewers, and then it ended up leading to like 11 viewers, until my stream crashed, and then I lost all of them. So maybe rating somebody with just a couple of viewers, just to give them that kind of good feeling, would be nice. Not that you have to stick around and watch them, but... so, how about... we will raid this person. Oh no. Alright. See you guys. I'll be here again Thursday.